and it holds, like I can move around and it doesn't fall. I was a bit worried I wouldn't have enough. I'm a bit scrunched forward like this. Is this a mistake? I need to step back if I don't want to burn out. Cardiff, cashmere, beat it up a little bit so that it unveils its full potential. Hi, my name is Maya and welcome to episode 79 of my knitting podcast, where I share all my thoughts, process and other random stuff about all things fiber related, but mostly knitting. Today is the 22nd of July 2026 and I'm coming to you from the French-speaking part of Switzerland where I live with my gecko. I have a ton of stuff to tell you about today. I have one finished object, but I cannot really show it to you, but more on that later. And I have 3 works in progress and 2 of them are brand new. So it's gonna be very interesting and you're gonna see new stuff. And then I have some blabbering at the end about some things that are happening right now, my life in general, and yeah, just some yapping at the end if you're interested on that. Otherwise, that's kind of all I have regarding the knitting. So let's start with what I'm wearing, which you probably know already because this was my finished object for the last episode. And it's my Plume dress, because yes, this is a dress. Wow! She's so cute, I love her so much, and I haven't worn it. I haven't worn her at all since I finished it, because it's too hot. And also because the main reason I go out of my home is to work for my part-time job, and this is not really part-time job friendly because of the lacy here that are a little bit see-through, and I can't really go to work with that. And also the dress is pretty short, but yeah, I knitted using Pure Silk by Knitting for Olive in the colorways Plume, Plume, Dusty Honey and Pea Shoots, and there is some glitter in the stripy, they are difficult to see, but the yellow stripes, the very thin yellow stripes, there is some glitter in them. My photographer managed to make the glitter shine a little bit in some pictures, so I'm gonna show them here so you can have an idea, but yeah, I love it, it's super comfortable, it's super lightweight. It's actually like nice when it's really hot. The only issue is this, because I just prefer having an like V-neck or open neck or something when it's super hot, is the only issue. But I still think, I mean not I think, when we did the photo shoot it was so hot, like so hot. It was over 30 degrees even though it was the morning, and I was sweating buckets in this and it was fine. It was okay. So yeah, I guess it works for the convection oven weather we are having here. And I am also wearing something else that is knitted. It's in my hair. Look at her. It's a scrunchie. It's hard to see, but it's here. And I finished it also, I showed it in the last episode I think. And I did learn in the meantime how to do a messy bun. Can we please appreciate the beauty of this messy bun? And it holds, like I can move around and it doesn't fall. I'm so happy, I'm so proud of myself. Because I said I have been struggling for years to do messy buns because my buns are always like super tight and compact and not messy at all, and I like the messy bun look. But I saw a reel on Instagram that was showing how to do them and it's like so easy. Yeah, it changed my life. So I'm gonna try to do a demonstration or something. So this is a scrunchie, by the way. Very cute, very basic, there are hair on it now. So basically you take it in your hand like this. You do a ponytail at the height where you want the bun to be. And then you put the elastic or whatever. It needs to be really, really loose. Like if you have a tight elastic, it's not gonna work. Or it's gonna be super difficult. You take the ponytail in your hand like this. You pass the elastic over the ponytail, but you don't pull it through. Like so. And then you put your hand, the free hand, inside the scrunchie, like completely in, like this. And then you're gonna scoop backwards, not like this to the front, but backwards, like so. And you're gonna scoop the hair up. So put your whole hand under the hair, like the actual back of the hand, not the fingers. Otherwise you're gonna get your fingers stuck in the hair. So the back of the hand, you scoop the hair. And you can do it twice if you have long hair or an elastic that's very elastic, which is not my case. So I'm just gonna do it once. And then I kind of pull back. I pull a little bit here. I just loosen things a little bit, and then I'm gonna grab the this bump with my hand here, and then I'm gonna pass the elastic over, and I have a messy bun. Ah, it's so easy, and it doesn't look too bad. I mean, I think the one I did before was a bit better. I still don't have 100% success rate, but I mean, it's an okay look, I guess. I don't know, I cannot see myself. But yeah, that was the tutorial no one asked for. And I hope it will be helpful for you too. Oh, and by the way, for the scrunchie, I used the brushed alpaca silk by Drops, but you can use anything. It's just a leftover. And I did put the instructions on how to do this as well as a glasses case that I did at the same time. I put up the Ravelry project pages, and I put the instructions in both French and English, so if you would like to do this or the glasses case, it's there for you. It's free. Enjoy. And you can also do a messy bun if you do the scrunchie. Anyway, let's talk about my finished object, which, as I said earlier, I cannot show you because it's a secret design for a publication. So yeah, I finished it and I sent it over to the publication. So I don't even have it anymore with me. I mean, I did take some pictures so that I could do the test code, but I don't have it with me. I cannot even tell you the yarn I used. However, I can tell you I have 100 grams left, which is enough to make like a summer top for me because it's a summer yarn, it's a summer design. But it's a color I really don't want to wear because I was like, oh, it's not for me, so I'm gonna go outside of my comfort zone and use a color I would never wear. But I have too much yarn. So now I have this color I really don't want to wear, but I have enough to make a garment. I don't know, maybe I'm gonna give it away to someone I know loves this color, because I have a few people in mind. We'll have to see. But yeah, I have that, and I'm very happy about it, and I'm excited to show you, but it's gonna be for next year, the publication. The test code is gonna be in August, though. The pattern just went into tech editing, so test code in August. It's gonna be on Instagram. Yes, so next up, I'm gonna show you one of my new cast-ons, which is actually almost done, because it's just a fast project, and I have done it already twice, so this is my third time. It doesn't look like much. So this is a Leela top by Grége, and it's just a very simple summer top with like a straight neck on both front and back, and it has some garter details, stripes kind of things, and it's going great. I have already made this design twice because I tested it for Grége the first time. I think it was in 2024. And then I made a second one because I loved it so much. It's one of my most worn summer garments. It's just my favorite. It's just so easy to wear and it's so comfortable. It's so cute. It fits me so well. It's just awesome. I really like it. So I made the second one, but I used a very different yarn and the yarn didn't have enough drape and it was itchy. So I really didn't want to wear it because it looked bad. And it was pretty interesting to see how the same pattern could either be my favorite summer top or my most hated summer top just because of the yarn choice. I mean, even if you set aside the fact that the second one was itchy, even if it wasn't, I hated the finished thing so much. So for this one, I used the yarn that has a lot of drape because this is 100% linen. It's Solo Lino by Lana Grossa. It's my first time using this brand, and I bought this when I went to meet my friend Leela from the Ruby and Pearls knitting podcast, or the Leela Amber Knits on Instagram. She grew up in Interlaken, and when I met her there a couple of weeks ago, we went to a yarn shop, and they didn't have a lot of yarn in the yarn shop, but this was one of the yarns that was there. So I bought 4 balls and she bought everything else because it was not a destashing, a destocking. I don't know, they were emptying the shop for some reason. I was a bit worried I wouldn't have enough. It's fine, I'm gonna have more than enough because I used, this is my 3rd ball. I would say halfway through the body. I have joined it around here. So I have more than enough yarn. And I even think I have enough to make a matching hair accessory or something because I still have my swatch that I haven't unraveled. So yeah, absolutely fine. The yarn is really lovely. I really like it. If you have tried Antigone by De Rome Natura, it's also 100% linen. It's also sport weight, but it's very like scrunchy and dry, and shiny. Like when you look at the ball, it's super, super shiny, like silk or something. And when you knit with it, it's pretty like hard, because it's linen, of course, it has no elasticity at all. But also it's kind of dry and scrunchy. I don't know how to describe it, but it's exactly that. And this is like Antigone, but washed 10 times and worn for 3 years, because it's very soft, it's very like smooth and not scrunchy at all. It already has drape, even though I haven't blocked it. Yeah, it's like a, how do we say that? Old version of Antigone. It doesn't really make sense, but yeah, this feels very nice. I love Antigone, don't get me wrong, it's one of my favorite yarns. But if you find it a bit too scrunchy, this is a good alternative. It's the same gauge. However, it's very dusty, because where Antigone kind of is still brand new and not beaten up yet, it kind of keeps all the fibers together. But this one sits, it looks like it has been brushed or something, I don't really know. But it's really losing real fibers and dust everywhere, like everywhere. I just put it out of the bag and I already have dust on my dress. Excellent. And I just hope after washing a few times it's gonna stop shedding. Otherwise it's gonna be a problem, because most of my bottoms are black. So if I have white dust everywhere, yeah. But we're gonna see. I'm gonna report when it's finished, which is gonna be in not too long. Regarding the pattern, so one thing first to note is that it's not size inclusive at all. There are a lot of sizes, but the sizes are really close together, so actually it doesn't go really far in the sizing range. However, two things. First, this is a super, super easy, mega basic pattern. Like, it doesn't get any easier. Like, literally you cast on here at the top and then you knit straight until you start the underarm shaping, and you just do increases on each side, and that's all. And I mean, the motif is super easy, and there are some I-cords on the edges, so really, really easy. And in the pattern, the back panel is exactly the same as the front, so you do the same thing twice. And then you cast on stitches at the other arms, and you join it around, and you continue working the motif, and that's it. Super basic. So, if you are outside of the size range, but you would like to learn how to modify a pattern, like to grade a new size for you, this is the perfect option. Because also the gauge is not too small. It's 24 stitches, so like heavy fingering sport weight gauge. So it doesn't take ages like a fingering weight summer top does, but it's not too heavy like a DK weight summer top is. I mean, some people love those. I don't. It's too heavy for me, so this is a perfect option. So yeah, it doesn't take ages to knit, so even if you mess up something, you can still rip back. It's not going to take too long. I think I knit this in like 3 days. I mean, of course, it's a small size, but I mean, it's kind of low stakes. If you want to learn to grade a new size, this is perfect option. And I say that because I've been thinking a lot about this. There have been a lot of discussions about size inclusivity, all of that. And one thing is that, I mean, size inclusivity is, of course, very important, because like all my patterns are size inclusive, and it's something I talk about a lot. I don't want to say that it's not important. It's absolutely not what I want to say. What I want to mention is that learning to modify a pattern is kind of a game changer and almost, how do you say indispensable? Indispensable? A skill that is indispensable. You have to learn to do it, because knitting patterns, and every garment, by the way, is graded based on the standard sizing chart. But hardly anybody is standard, so you will have to learn to modify a pattern to fit your personal proportions, because you will not fit in the standard sizing. So size inclusivity is great, it's important, but I don't hear a lot about the fact that even if you are straight sized like I am, my bust measurement is pretty average, I still ended up in a situation where I knit a pattern because it told me this size would fit me. I knit the whole thing and it doesn't fit me at all, like I cannot wear it. And to some extent it's even worse than a pattern that's not size inclusive, because when you see the pattern, your size is not there. At least you're not gonna try to knit a size thinking it's gonna fit you, and then it doesn't. At least you will have saved that time. But in the case of someone with a straight bust measurement, you're gonna knit the thing, you're gonna lose that time, and it's not gonna fit you. So, yeah, it really sucks. So in my opinion, learning to modify a design, be it for like changing the proportions of a size that already exists to make it fit you, or grade a whole new size, it is something you will have to learn to do, even if you are straight sized like me. So yeah, I think it's a indispensable skill. So if you would like to learn to grade a garment to fit you if your size isn't in the range, this is a good starting point. Now, I did do a lot of modifications so that it would fit me perfectly. The other one fits me great, however, two things happened. I mean, not two, only one. It stretched out lengthwise because the straps stretched out and the whole garment kind of stretched out because I used it's not linen, it's a hemp yarn. And the armhole is now way too low. So if I lean forward, you can see everything on the side, which is a problem. But I don't really want to shorten the straps because then it's going to lift the bottom hem and then it's going to be a bit too cropped. I only had 2 skeins and I used everything, so I can't lengthen it anymore. So yeah, I can still wear the older one at home when it doesn't matter if I flash side boobs. And I can make another one where I'm going to make a much shorter straps and also just need the armhole a bit shorter to fix the issue. So that's what I'm doing. And the other modification is that the thing that makes me not fit into the standard sizing is that my back is much wider than my front. Basically, my shoulders are I'm a bit scrunched forward like this. So I need more fabric to cover my back. Otherwise, for something like this, if I need a size that fits me on the front and I do the same size on the back, it looks like I have a racer back on the back because my shoulders are so much wider. And I don't like that. So what I did is I did a size 3 for the front and a size 5 for the back. So you can maybe tell that the back is a bit wider, a little bit. I didn't have to go too far with this. Usually I can go much like 4 sizes wider on the back. But yeah, in this case I didn't think it was really necessary. It's already pretty wide, so the unintentional racer back wasn't really an issue. So yeah, I only did 2 sizes more on the back. There you can see it a bit better. So I did that, but then since I had more stitches on the back, if I wanted to still have the finished bust circumference of the size 3, which would be the one fitting my bust, I needed less stitches. So what I did is I did the underarm shaping of size 2 on both front and back, and then I cast on a number of stitches between size 2 and 3, I don't remember, but yeah. I did a little bit less underarm shaping so that I wouldn't have too many stitches because I had more stitches on the back. And something else I did is that for the underarms here, you're supposed to simply cast on stitches, but since you have I-cords on the sides of the panels, and then you cast on stitches here, you have a straight line, and it's just, the detail is not continuous, which is not really a problem. It doesn't bother me particularly on the first sample, but I know a way to make it continuous, so I was like, I'm just gonna do that. It's something I used here. Also in the Plume dress, so you can see here there is an I-cord and the I-cord continues here on the underarm. So I just did that. I still need to graft the 2 ends of the I-cord here, but yeah, other than that, the armhole is continuous. I love this detail. I think that's all the modifications I have done. Oh no, something else, a little trick for you. When you cast on for the panels here, you use a long tail cast on in this case, and I let super long tails. I think I did 1.5 times my wingspan, and I have this little nugget left. So when I go to pick up stitches here to work the strap, I can use this, and I don't have to join a new yarn. So neat! And I did the same for the other one here. So I have the 2 little bits hanging so that I can knit my straps. I used 3.5 millimeters and that's it. Next up, it is something I had already cast on in the last episode. I have done a little bit of progress, but not that much. It's a bit scrunched up and the battery is low. Damn it. This is the Melon Cowl, which is a design I'm currently working on. And I did a little bit of progress, but not that much. However, I did a lot of progress on the pattern. So I did progress, but not on this part of the design. And it's going to be one of those sideways diagonal thing. So it's going to be worn like this. And you can see here, there is a kind of straight edge. And on the other side here, there's going to be another straight edge. And they're going to be sewn together like this. And then you're going to fit your head in this. And you're going to have a point at the bottom. Very classic, nothing groundbreaking. I just really love this style. The yarn I'm using is, this is hand-dyed from La Ferme du Beau. It's a fingering weight, but more like sport weight because it's so plump It's 400 meters per 100 grams, but it knits up at almost DK weight, I would say. And this is my own hand spun, and it's also kind of sport weight, I would guess. And it's looking great, and it's purple, just like the first sample I did, which is also purple. I could have just shown this one when I was explaining the shape. So yeah, this is the finished piece. This is the back. So here, this is the seam. You can see the pointy shape. Now, this one was for my mom. I cast on this one without realizing that this color is very similar to the one I used in the first one. And my mom said this one is too heavy, it doesn't breathe because it's a superwash yarn. I mean, she doesn't know what a superwash yarn is, but she said it's too heavy and not breathable enough for her. So it's thick. It's a slip stitch pattern and it's DK and it's superwash. So she wanted something more lightweight. And last time I said I could use cashmere because that's lightweight, that's very soft. It's going to be thin and breathable, but still very warm. So I could use that. And then I spent 2 weeks trying to find the perfect cashmere for her. I got a few suggestions, so thank you a lot for that. However, I really wanted something fingering weight because this was too thick, and even if I use cashmere, if it's DK, it's going to be too thick. I wanted fingering weight. And it's difficult to find fingering weight cashmere. I was a bit surprised, but yeah, most of them are usually DK. Or lace. Someone suggested Lana Como cashmere, which is a mix of merino and cashmere. It looked amazing, but it's DK. And even if it's super lightweight, like even lightweighter than lightweight, still the fabric would be a bit too thick. I really wanted fingering weight. So I couldn't use that. And then someone suggested I could also maybe try yak, which is an excellent idea. And there is this Mayak brand. I have used their yarns in the past once. Lovely yarn, super soft, just like cashmere actually. Just the feeling is a little bit different, but it's still very, very soft and super warm. But it's either DK or lace. And I could use the lace double, but then it was a bit too thick. Yeah, it was kind of an in-between. It wasn't really exactly what I wanted. So in the end, after browsing lots and lots of different brands, I ended up going back to Cardiff cashmere because they have the classic, which is like a sport DK. They have the heavy, or however it's called, that like a heavy DK thing, but they also have the small, I think, which is a fingering weight. It's the perfect gauge for what I want. So I ended up going with that Cardiff cashmere small. Also because I always wanted to try it, so I was like, this is the perfect occasion because it's not too much yarn, it's less high stakes than a sweater. I ordered that. However, for the colors, I sent the link to her saying choose 2 colors that you think pair well together and that you will want to wear. And lo and behold, she selected purple. And she really wanted the purple to be the main color, the one on top, so it's gonna be almost the same color as this again. So I'm gonna have 3 samples of a design in the same color, which I'm not very happy about, but it is how it is. My mom loves purple, what can I say? And I'm not gonna tell her, oh no, please pick something else because it doesn't work for my business. No. So yeah, this is gonna be finished pretty soon. It goes quite fast because, I mean, it doesn't because it's a slip stitch, but like compared to other slip stitch patterns, it goes quite fast because I'm using 4.5 millimeters. And I mean, I don't have that many stitches on the needles. I'm gonna have more, but it's not too bad. It's not too huge either. So yeah, going pretty fast. However, I think the fingering weight, it's a light fingering. So this one is gonna take ages, but it's okay because summer is still, no, not summer. Winter is still far away from us, so I still have time. However, I have also cast on another sister, cousin to the Melon Cowl, which is a melon hat. And I did some okay progress, but it did take a while because I was writing the pattern at the same time and it was a bit tricky because I did things not in the easiest way, of course. So this is the start. It looks so good on camera. Oh wow. I mean, it looks lovely in real life, but it shows up even more on camera. This is awesome. So yeah, this is the melon hat. As you can tell, it's a top-down hat. So my idea is to make it gaugeless so that you can like knit to a certain dimension. or maybe you can measure your gauge and then do some math to know how many stitches you need to have. Then you just stop whenever it's long enough, and then you do the brim, and you have a hat. And you can use any yarn you want. I mean, I would say between light fingering and probably DK, maybe worsted. I'm gonna have to test it out, because there are two different increase rates, because it's not like a slouchy hat, it's not one that have the brim, the high brim thing. It's one that's like fitted to your head. So you need to increase faster here at the top of your head, and then increase a bit slower when you get it to the slower slope here on the sides. And if you use a yarn that's too thick, the circle here at the top is gonna get wider too fast, and you won't really have time to do two different increase rates because of the way the slip stitch motif works. You have to do quite a lot of rows in order to do whatever. I'm not sure it's gonna work with worsted, so I'm gonna have to try and see how big things get. But yeah, for now, with line fingering, it's doing awesome. This yarn is a fingering weight cashmere. So what was I talking about saying it's difficult to find a fingering weight cashmere? This is a bit special because it's local to me. It's, I mean, not the cashmere in itself, the maker. It's in Swiss, it's Badma Yarns. And I see her at every yarn show in Switzerland all the time. She's always there, and I always want to get a sweater quantity because the yarns look so awesome, and she has samples on her booth and they just look so great. It really looks like a great yarn, but I just haven't had the opportunity to knit a fingering weight sweater yet. I could hold it double, but yeah, it just hasn't happened, but it's gonna happen in the future. Anyway, I bought those two balls because I had an idea in mind for a cardigan actually, but yeah, I wasn't convinced and I wasn't feeling it, so it just went on the back burner. For a while, I did do a swatch. It's just a fingering weight swatch here, and the button band is double knit, and there is red on the inside, but on the outside it's like this. You have this color, but it's peeking through like so. Maybe it's gonna come back in the future, but yeah, I just let it on the side. So I had those two balls. I have been using this one held double to do the inside of folded over collars when I'm using a yarn that's a bit too itchy for the inside of the collar that's touching my neck. I wanted to use something really soft, so cashmere was perfect. So this I have a little bit less than the grey, which is why I use this as the main color, so the color that's on top that you can see the most of. And then I used, what's this red line? Is this a mistake? I think it's a mistake. You can't really see it in real life, but it's mega obvious on camera. What's up with that? What's this? Oh, it is a mistake. Oh no. Oh no! I'm gonna have to rip back. It's okay. It didn't take too long. Sad times. Yeah, the main color is the dark grey because that's what I have the more of. And yeah, lovely yarn. They don't have a lot of colors, but they have nice colors. The colors they do have are really great. And they also have a marl, like two colors marled together. That's really cute. I want to try all of them. It's a really great yarn. And also the fact that it's local to me. I don't know all the details, but it's sustainably sourced and spun. It's a great brand. They do a great job. And it's not too expensive. However, if you compare it to like Cardiff Cashmere, which I haven't tried, but I have seen pictures of it and I have seen people talk about it. Cardiff Cashmere has a bit more halo, it's a bit more fuzzy, whereas this one, it's really sleek. It's not fuzzy at all. And even the swatch that I have washed once, it doesn't have like, yeah, it looks like a pretty standard yarn. It's very soft, but you wouldn't like touch this and be like, wow, this is cashmere. Absolutely not. However, in the samples I have touched when I see Badma yarns at a festival, the samples are definitely fuzzy and super soft and amazing. So it's like linen. You need to wash it and wear it and like beat it up a little bit so that it unveils its full potential, I guess. So we'll see how this goes on the long time. I'm doing the thing where I'm putting this in my bag, in my project bag, and I'm kind of carrying it everywhere so that it gets a bit fuzzier and so that I can see the wear of the yarn over a long period of time, because I did this like 2 years ago. And it's already getting a bit a bit fuzzier. So yeah, I have high hopes. It's gonna probably look like Cardiff cashmere in the end, except it's much cheaper and there are a lot less colors, but yeah. But my yarns, amazing, and Melon Hat, I need to rip back, but it's okay. I have no idea when will be the test call. I'm also writing up the pattern of this at the same time as the Melon Cowl, but I don't think I'm gonna do a test call for both at once. I could, but also, okay, the knitting is done now. We're gonna go into the knit and chat, except I'm not gonna knit because I cannot knit and talk to a camera, especially not on something as complicated as this, especially not if I need to read back. Yeah, so lately I have been completely overworked because there's a lady looking at me. Because I have tons of ideas and I want to make them all come to life. I'm overflowing with inspirations and stuff I want to knit, everything, but I don't have the time because my patterns are pretty complicated. I'm not doing basic stuff and it just takes a lot of time. It's difficult to grade, it's difficult to write, and then I get lots of feedback from testers and I need to adjust a lot of things, and I try my best to be clear for everyone, and yeah, it just takes a lot of time. And then there's social media, I need to do the post, the video on YouTube, and it takes so much time, and answering to all the people. It's just things I'm happy to do, but I need to step back if I don't want to burn out, which would be a shame. So yeah, even if I love what I do, it's just too much. So I think for the next 2 pattern releases, I mean not the next 2, because first there is the Plume top in August, and then there's going to be the Bountiful sweater in September. So the next 2 releases after that, I think I'm gonna chill out, step back a little bit, and I'm just gonna do like the Melon Cowl in October/November and the Melon Hat probably beginning of December or something. And that's gonna be it, and it's gonna be great, and nobody's gonna forget me, nobody's gonna hate me because I don't put out heavy sweaters all the time. It's fine. It's, as you can guess, very difficult because this is my main source of income. The situation is a bit complicated. So basically, I lost my job when I used to be an architect a year and a half ago, and from then I've been on, I think it's called unemployed benefits, and that lasts for 2 years. But I, of course, don't get the full salary I was getting when I was an architect, so yeah, that's first a bit difficult. But then I have a part-time job, a small part-time job, but it's like 20%, so it's really small. But it does at least pay the flat. That's it. A little bit more, but yeah, not much. And then the rest is knitting patterns and YouTube, but that's almost nothing. And once I don't have the unemployed benefits anymore, it's going to be just the knitting patterns. So it's like a race against the clock because I really need the knitting business to be self-sustainable by the time I don't have the unemployed benefits anymore, which is pretty soon. It's like 5 months from now. And for now, it's not self-sustainable. I have a bit of margin because I do have a little bit of, how do you say that? Argent de côté? Savings? Yes, savings. But yeah, it's a difficult situation, as you can guess. So I do have some pressure to put out designs regularly because if I don't put out a design, I don't have money, and if I don't have money, I cannot pay the bills and I don't eat, and it sucks. I mean, for now, it's not the case, but it's soon gonna be. So yeah, I hear all the time people that are like, yeah, I don't understand why designers cannot wait for 1 or 2 weeks to push back a release or a test call or whatever. You guys are not the ones putting the pressure. My landlord is, my health insurance, my stomach to eat, because if I don't put out a pattern, I don't eat. Like, how is this so difficult to understand? The pressure is not coming from the people who buy the patterns. Anyway, you get the idea. So my goal since last summer, I would say, or last fall, is to put out a pattern every 6 weeks, which is already a lot slower than a lot of people, a lot of big designers. I mean, I'm not a big designer, but I'm like, if a big designer can do it, then why couldn't I? So I tried with every 4 weeks, which is what a lot of people do. It was too much. It was way too much, because my patterns are just more detailed and more complicated than a lot of patterns that are put out by the people who do one pattern every month. So it's just not possible for me. So I went to 6 weeks, and it could work if I did like 1 big pattern, 1 small pattern, like 1 dress/top design and 1 simple cowl, and then a sweater design, and then a hat, stuff like that. But I'm not doing that. I did like the shimmy shorts, which are super complicated. I did the Patagonia peaks, which was kind of a double pattern because I also updated the older version. And then I did the 30 stop, which was pretty easy, but still more complicated than like a hat. And then I have the Plume top and then the Bountiful sweater. And those are all huge designs and so complicated. And yeah, it's just too much. So all of this to say, I need to step back a little bit. I need to chill out. I need to take care of myself. And I also need to take care of my older designs because I have a few. Like, I've been getting emails because there are a few errors here and there, and I always get questions in the shimmy shorts when you finish the waistband and you start setting up for the pockets. Everything is written out, and if you follow the instructions, you're fine, but it's something very unusual, and nobody's expecting that. Everyone is overlooking the thing, which makes perfect sense. I'm not saying people don't know how to read, absolutely not. It's just, it's so unexpected that even if you read it, you're like, oh no, that can't be it. It must be that. So yeah, a lot of people do the mistake. So I'm gonna have to film a tutorial for that. And in the Patagonia peaks, there are a few mistakes that need to be addressed. And I've also been working on rebranding the whole Maya tinks situation. So trying to find new fonts that I can use in all the designs, redoing logos and stuff like that. So yeah, all work that takes a lot of time. Then that's all things I cannot do because I'm putting all my time, all my brain power into designing amazing stuff. But then all those things get pushed to the side and then it's really annoying because I keep on getting questions. Yeah, I just really need to address those, but I don't have the time. So, all of this to say, I'm gonna have two very easy and small patterns and it's fine. It's gonna be okay. I still have a little bit of margin for now because I still have the unemployment. It's so hard to say. In French, it's chômage. It's so easy. Unemployed benefits money until the end of the year, so I do have a little bit of breathing room with that. But then I'm gonna start working on a very big colorwork sweater design. It's gonna be awesome, but yeah, it's gonna come out beginning of 2027, so I still have a bit of time. Anyway, that's for the future of Maya tinks business thing, I would say. Oh, by the way, I also changed my email address because, so back in the days when I did my first pattern, my username was milahism.tinks, I think it was. Milahism is basically the username I was using on internet in general, so it just felt normal for me to use it for my knitting thing. But then I started designing patterns and people started talking about them and they couldn't pronounce the name Milahism because it's difficult to say, which kind of was silly. And I like my name. I think Maya is snappy, it sounds great, and I just love it. So I was like, I'm just going to change it to Maya tinks. But my email address was already made and I couldn't really change it. However, I don't know if it's recent or not, but did you know you can change your Gmail address just like you can change a username on Instagram? You just go in the settings and you can literally change the email address just like that. It's so easy. And the old address still works. So in all my published designs up until now, the address is milahism.designs@gmail.com, which is super long. But this address is still gonna work, even if I change the address to maya.tinks@gmail.com, which is great. So yeah, fun fact. Thank you, Gmail. Something else that's coming up and that will take a lot of time is the summer vlogs. So first, I'm sorry if you were super excited to see the Tour de Fleece vlog last week. It didn't happen. I just had too much. It was too much. I had to absolutely finish the sample for the secret design and I had to send it out. I had to finish writing up the pattern because if I don't have the sample with me anymore, I cannot really finish writing the pattern. So I had to absolutely finish that before. I had to prepare a double workshop at my local yarn shop, so that took a while. And I had a lot of work for my part-time job. Of course, it always ends up on the weeks where I have the most things to do on the knitting side of things. And I also have another passion, which is climbing, and if I don't climb, I get frustrated, and then I get angry. It's not fun, and I also have a relationship I need to take care of with my boyfriend. And I did a very important post on Instagram about AI. I'm going to talk about that again later, but yeah, that took so much time. So yeah, last week it was impossible. I couldn't spin, I couldn't film, I couldn't edit, I just couldn't make anything. So I did the compilation video of all my summer vlogs from 2024 and 2025. So the new people here might not know, But every summer, I mean, every summer in the past 2 years, so it's not every summer, I did summer vlogs. I called them summer knitting journals, yeah, whatever, summer vlogs about knitting. And I really love them because summer is my favorite season and it's generally when I'm the most myself, I would say. And it's just a great time of the year, and every year I get great like memories about summer, and it's just awesome for me to record all of that. And when I edited the compilation, so I took all the vlogs and I put them back to back, and I was watching again through what happened in summer 2024 and summer 2025, and it just took me back in the memories, and it was so great. It's just fun to see where I was at the time. Like in 2024, I was doing this. I was doing the quilt. You can see behind me. And it's so funny because before that, I had nothing on my couch. I was filming, but it was just empty. And I also didn't have this yet. And yeah, I was working on things, on designs that are now completely published, and it's just fun to go back to me trying to figure out how to make them. I was working on fixing some things that have been fixed for a while now and that I've been wearing a lot and I enjoy. And yeah, it's just so fun. There's also quite a lot of climbing footage in my local yarn. Climbing footage in my local yarn shop. No, in my local climbing gym. So yeah, that's also fun to watch. And I've been getting comments about people that are also enjoying the trip down memory lane. So yeah, that's just fun. Anyway, so I really would like, I was hesitant at first because I have so much on my plate, and I was like, maybe it's not the greatest idea to try to make another series of summer vlogs when I have so much work. But it's just, for future Maya, just doing those vlogs, it's so great to be able to go back and just have like a point in time where I can go back and see what I was doing at this precise period of August 2020, whatever year. It's just, I just really love it. And it's going to be so precious to watch those next year, but also in 10 years, in 20 years, who knows? Yeah, I really love those. They are a lot of work, a ton of work to do. Super time consuming, but I'm so proud of them. Yeah, anyway, you get the idea. So in August, I'm probably going to do that. I don't know, absolutely not every day, for sure not. That's too much. Maybe every 2 days or every 3 days, maybe once a week. I don't know, we're going to see. I think it depends also on the week, if I have lots of things happening or not. We'll see, but yeah, in August, there's gonna be some vlogs. And end of July, there's gonna be the July stash update, of course. It's gonna be awesome, because I have distashed some yarn, I have finished lots of projects. I mean, I'm gonna finish lots of projects. And yeah, it's gonna be a good one, I'm very excited. Oh yeah, something else I've been doing, and that took a lot of time. Since last Sunday or Saturday, something like this, I started cat-sitting the cats from my photographer, because my photographer, Alexia, she's my friend, we are friends before she became my photographer, and she has 2 cats. She and her husband have 2 cats. And they went on holidays, they went surfing somewhere in France, and they needed someone to take care of their cats. So I'm doing that. So last weekend, I moved to their apartment with all my stuff, and I've been cat sitting since then. And one of the, so there are 2 cats. The first one, she's like an absolute sweetheart. She's so cute. She's like chubby face and so sweet. She's like an angel fallen from the sky. She's so cute. But she absolutely hates the new cat, which is a little demon, a white demon. She's super cute. Like, you cannot not love her. She's like a love bug. She wants cuddles all the time. And that's what's annoying, because she's basically constantly body slamming me to get cuddles. Even when I'm working, she like jumps on the table and just jumps into me so that I would hug her. Like, she's so cute. But she does the same to the other cat, and that's way too much for that one. So they hate each other. Or I guess the older cat hates the new cat, but I don't know if the new cat likes the old cat. Whatever. So the older cat is basically always outside, so I hardly ever see her. I just put food for her as an offering, and during the night she comes and eats it. But I don't really see her. I saw her for the first time last night, and she was so sweet. She just sat next to me and she just chilled there. She just wanted some company. She just wanted to be with someone. She didn't really want it to be pet or anything. She just wanted to be there. She was so cute. And then the other cat, the new one, she entered the apartment. She started meowing like crazy, like, I am here, love me, please. She jumped on the table and slammed onto me as usual. And I could hear the sigh of the other cat. She just got up and went out. She left the place. She didn't want it to be near this energy. Two very different cats, but both are super cute. So I'm babysitting them, and I'm doing that during the whole week. So right now, as you can see, I'm at my usual place because I work early in the morning and I work next to where I live. So while I was in town, I was like, I'm just gonna film the podcast here and then I'm gonna go back there and edit the video and publish from there. So that I don't have to carry all the filming gear with me and have a cat slam onto me while I'm filming. That would be cute, but also quite annoying. So yeah, that's the situation. Also taking a lot of time because the white cat is high maintenance. I need to put sunscreen on her ears before she goes out because otherwise she gets sunburned on her ears. Why? Anyway, so I did mention shortly before that I did a very important post on Instagram, which was about AI. So I think I mentioned it a few times before. I'm not even sure. I know I talked about it quite a lot in stories on Instagram, but I'm not sure now if I mentioned it on YouTube. But I have a strong opinion about GenAI, which is not the same as AI in general. And I did a post because I felt like I needed to take position and talk about it so that people knew where I'm standing towards that. So I did the post. I wrote the post myself. I did not use AI to generate the words. So I'm just gonna read the post. Oh wait, Mr. Tinks is calling me. Hello! He's sick, he's sad. He needed to hear my voice so that he could lift him up. He's so cute. I was talking about AI. And I need to hurry up because the mic is almost out of battery. But I need to hurry up because I'm hungry as well. So I did this post on Instagram, and since I took position on Instagram, I think it's also important I do it here on YouTube because I know it's not the same people, so that everyone is on the same page on all the social media presence I have. So I'm just going to read it to you and probably put the images here because they look great. I'm pretty proud of my work that I did with my own two hands. So the post is titled, "We need to talk about Gen AI." I've been vocal about my opinion on this matter in stories, but this time I share about it on the grid or on YouTube. First, a bit of context. Gen AI is a specific subset of AI that generates content by learning patterns from massive databases, images, videos, audios, or even descriptions or carousel texts, like the one I took a solid 6 hours or 2 days to write and edit with my own two hands, by browsing thousands of sources online and mishmashing them together. I am making a distinction because today's conversation is not about the use of AI in scientific research. The subject is already complex enough as is, so let's stay focused on one part for now. How does it work? Gen AI is trained on whatever is accessible online. Images, photographs, drawings, music, films, essays, without the consent of the real human who produced them in the first place. More often than not, it even uses content where the maker clearly stated they did not agree with anyone using their work for reproductive purposes. It's like going to the Louvre, snapping a picture of the Mona Lisa when there's a no photo sign, and showing your pic to someone saying, "Look, I painted that," and expecting them to praise you for it. Using without consent equals stealing. Using Gen AI equals stealing, whether you want it / know it or not. But Gen AI is a public tool that everyone uses, so how could it be illegal or immoral? If it really was, the tool in itself would be banned, right? And it's just a silly picture, it's just for fun. How bad can it be if I ask ChatGPT to draw me in Ghibli style? Well, first, there are a lot of immoral things that are legal, so this is absolutely not relevant. Then, if you try to see the answer for yourself instead of waiting on bigger instances or AI to spit it out for you, it only takes one Miyazaki movie to understand his take on technology and the way it destroys the beauty of nature. Do you really think he would agree that an unstoppable machine eats up all the effort, passion and thoughts he has put in his movies during his whole career to vomit a picture imitating his unique style in a split second while emitting record-breaking amounts of CO2, destroying natural habitats and causing historical droughts because of the scandalous amounts of fresh water needed to cool down the power plants? No, he would not. He is getting stolen of his work, his style, his lifelong project by exactly what he tried to warn us about in his films. It's not just a silly picture. It's a whole system, and by using it, you are feeding it and actively contributing to the horror. Let's make a comparison for a second. Let's say you, a crafty person who really cares about the environment and slow fashion, sell your car to buy a second-hand bicycle online. You meet the seller, pay for the item, and go on your merry way with your new bicycle. But a few days later, you learn that the bicycle was actually stolen. So not only did the person lose their precious bicycle, but you gave money to a thief and encouraged them to steal more stuff to resell it, because apparently it works. So more people would get stolen. You could even be the next. Sucks, right? I bet you would feel bad after that. Now, of course, you could argue that you can't determine beforehand if a bicycle was stolen or not, and you would be absolutely right. However, with GenAI, you are perfectly aware that the machine is fed content without the consent of the creator, that it copies and steals from people like me and you, who will directly suffer from the injustice. If you pretend you didn't know, you are lying. Reality is you saw people talking about this, but you decided to ignore it / forget about it because it's much easier than admitting you messed up. But let's pretend you live in an offline cave and genuinely didn't know. Well, you just read this post until here, so now you know. Which means that next time you use GenAI to generate a silly photo of you surrounded by yarn or whatever, you are perfectly aware you are stealing from the hard work of real humans and giving data to the thieves, but you still did it. It's like typing stolen bicycle online, giving your money to a thief, and then parading happily in the streets with a huge sign over your head that says, I stole this and I'm proud of it. That's what people posting AI-generated content look like. Maybe a couple of years ago you could pretend like you didn't know the consequences, you genuinely thought it was just a silly picture, but not anymore. Crafts are about what you make, the decisions and motions you did in order to transform something into something else. An AI-generated post, description, profile pic or video is nothing more than a slump of what others did before you, without asking for their permission or crediting them. It's art stripped from its soul. It's meaningless and empty slop. If you are a maker, a fiber artist, a yarn dyer, a notion maker, a knitwear designer, anything really, and your profile pic or content is AI, first, we can see it. They are recognizable in an instant. Second, they are ugly. Distorted proportions, fake objects that make zero sense when you look closely, recognizable aesthetic that looks so smooth and polished it is soulless and boring, even when it's full of shape and colors. Third, whatever you think you gained by prompting a sentence into GenAI instead of creating the content yourself is an illusion. You are in reality actively hurting your business. Because trust me, there are more people who will not shop from you or engage with you because of this silly pic than people who will be drawn to you thanks to it. Look at things this way. Creating quality content takes time, energy, and effort, that's for sure. Using GenAI to create it for you saves you those, but do you know what it also means? That you, yourself, admit this content is not worth investing your precious time. If you are a business and didn't bother investing more than a few minutes to create a logo or a few illustrations to market your product, why would anyone bother to visit your page with your content, engage with it, or buy your product? Managing a business is for sure about efficiency. The main goal is still to make profit, but there's a limit beyond which efficiency becomes laziness and disrespect towards the customers. Story time. A couple of months ago, I was looking for a fiber advent calendar and was heavily hesitating between two. The first one was cheaper, more my colors, more in line with what I was looking for, but I ended up going with the second option, even if it wasn't perfect, because the first one had an AI-generated logo. The creator didn't have the time to create a logo themselves or didn't bother investing the time to learn how to make one. This invested time would have resulted in less production, meaning less sales. Quick math. I'll give my $200 to someone else who respects my time and my money. Still less sales, but they made a fool out of themselves in the process. But I don't have the funds to hire a designer to make a logo for my business, or I don't know how to design one myself, or I cannot take nice pictures, because those are just excuses. Canva is a free tool that you can do literally anything with, and if you don't know how to use it, there's a website called YouTube where you can find tons of amazing tutorials to teach you the basics. So instead of watching a crappy show on Netflix you will have half forgotten about the next day, how about you knit while watching a tutorial to learn a new skill? If you lack inspiration, there's a website called Pinterest that will give you plenty. Just write words you enjoy. I don't know, flowers, pineapple, brown, anything that makes you happy, suit your own personal taste and defines you. Draw a pineapple with a flower on top on a brown background. Boom, you have a logo. A logo is not set in stone. If you realize you don't like it in 2 weeks, you can just change it. You can also make 1, 2, or 10, print them out, and display them at home for a while until you make up your mind. If you prefer a nice picture of a logo, 99% of you have a super powerful camera in your pocket. Grab a project you're proud of, lay the item on the windowsill next to a cute plant, add a coffee mug, snap the pic, boom, there you go. If you don't have a smartphone, you for sure know someone who does. Just call them, go get a tea together and ask them to snap a pic of you in your handmade sweater. What's the worst that could happen? The picture is blurry and you have spent 2 hours catching up with the friends you wouldn't have seen otherwise? Wow, tragic. And if you don't even want to meet with anyone, this pose is literally a freaking knitted bow resting on a red barrier. It would make a beautiful profile pic and it took 0 effort. I already had the bow and my friend and I just found the barrier. It was just there. But it's a bow I made. It's in my favorite color on the barrier we liked. It's me, it's us, it's the belly laugh we had that day. It's so much more meaningful than whatever a machine that will steal this photo without my consent will ever come up with. Now, after all this, what are the actions I personally take as a small business in the crafty world against GenAI? 1. I never use AI to write my captions, my descriptions, or anything really. For full transparency, the one and only instance where I use it is to translate very specific French expressions into English, because dictionaries cannot do that, and that is not GenAI. So it's not today's topic, but I prefer to be honest. 2. I never edit or generate my pictures or videos with AI. 3. I try my best to not shop or promote makers who obviously have AI-generated content in any form. And I say obviously because I'm not going to start stalking people to determine if they do or not. And 4. I don't select testers with an AI-generated profile pic or content on their grid. 5. Not related to my business, but in my day-to-day life, I simply do not use this tool. I would rather get a bowl of cereals 3 days in a row than ask a machine what I should eat tonight. So I targeted this post towards GenAI in the knitting crafty sphere, but there is a lot more to be told about this subject in the creative world in general, the harm it does to the environment and the way it snoozes your ability to think for yourself. I will tag below in the description box the accounts of a few people who took a deeper dive in the subject if you would like to learn more, but you don't need to wait for me to spit out the resources right in your open mouth. You are 1 click away from educating yourself online and looking up what you are interested in knowing. Thank you for reading this far. Moral of the story, be you, be creative, you are enough. So, I think this sums it up pretty well. I don't have anything else to add. I'm going to put the links to the post I talked about in the description box. And something that I realized is that, so for this one, the Plume top, not the dress but the top version, it's the white one, and I used the yarn from a specific brand, and I went on their website to look for cashmere yarns for the Melon Hat and Melon Cowl, and right on the homepage there was an ugly AI generated pic, and I continued scrolling and it was more and more AI generated pics, and I was like, this was so unnecessary. They have beautiful pictures of the yarns everywhere on the website and they had to generate an image for the front page. I'm like, oh, and it's not even pretty. Oh, it just doesn't make sense. I got super annoyed and I'm like, I don't want to promote this brand anymore. But I already made the sample. So what am I going to do? Can I publish the pattern and give one yarn option, which is the Pure Silk by Knitting for Olive, and just omit the other one? And if anybody asks me what the white top is made of, I say, I don't know. I don't know what to do. I'm still thinking about it. If you have an opinion, feel free to tell me. But yeah, that's what's currently on my mind. And that's it for today. Next week, you're gonna see me for the stash update for July, and then in August, hopefully, maybe the summer vlogs. I'm pretty sure it's gonna happen. So yeah, stay tuned for that. Don't forget to subscribe if you don't want to miss out miss those out. Thank you so much for your support. Thank you for staying until here. Thank you for your likes. Thank you for your comments. Thank you for being here. I hope to see you again next time. Happy knitting. I love you.